Does it? Are we on? We're in? Oh, great. Hey, what's happening? Happy Christmas Eve, Sunday afternoon. No, I don't know what it is. What's today? Thursday?
Yep.
The week before Christmas.
Christmas Eve week.
Yes. So, Merry Holidays for all of ye here. All of ye.
All of you true believers.
Right. What's happening? What the fact? Thursday. Part of Primetime Guitar Live. We start at 4 o'clock, then go over to our friends at Texas Toast, and then over to Dylan Talks Tone. And as always, I am here with
Dylan.
Which is not the Dylan I just said, but that's a different Dylan.
Yeah,
you guys know that.
There's a later Dylan.
There's only 9 people in here that, anyway, that are here, so they know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Where you going, Ziggy?
He's like, I always stick around for shuffles. Sorry, Ziggy. He's like, make it a snappy number. Something a little snappy. I feel like he's trying to figure out a way to get in behind here.
I'm not sure what he's up to.
Me neither. He looks like he's got some. There's a purpose.
Do you hear something out there?
He's like, no, I just gotta take a shit.
Is Eric stuck in a well?
He's like, I just gotta shit. He's like, I gotta find a spot that's not right directly on camera. Oh, hey, buddy. He's like, this is a good spot for me.
Yeah.
Yes, and Ziggy's here as well.
Yes.
So I hope everybody's doing well. This week, I don't know. We're going to talk about some bullshit, and then we'll go into some other bullshit. And then we'll end it with some bullshit. And then everybody can go have their Christmas holiday. I think that sounds good, yeah?
Yeah. Several varieties of bullshit.
Yes. Yes, it may be different flavors. So...
different flavors, different consistencies.
Yeah, Terry says troublemaker. Yeah, this thing is cool, man. I'm tempted. Because
it is a cool.
Because I need another guitar in my life.
Well, price?
The price is great, and it's cool looking, and
limited.
I don't know. It's kind of
Sounds good.
change it up a little bit so John doesn't get pissed at us and ask for some money. I'm 147 years old. I used to play with Crazy Grand Wide Revival. I need about 47 cents. I don't know what y'all trying to pull over here. I don't know. I know he doesn't talk like that, but
he just does for this. For the purposes of this short
skit. Yeah. Any likeness or audio
passing resemblances,
is not
what is it? Accidental or
yeah.
Whatever verbiage gets you out of it.
This thing that sounds cool.
Mm-hmm. I think we got the flight delay and the R1 on.
Yeah.
It's spring. Irish spring.
Irish spring.
What's that? Irish Spring?
That's a great idea for a pedal.
What?
The Irish
Spring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is that company around? Yeah. I was going to say, is the company around to sue anymore?
Yeah.
There?
They still make
Irish Spring is still around?
Yeah, they still make soap.
Well, I know soap is still soap in general. Irish Spring, though.
Irish Spring soap is what I mean.
Yeah.
Not just
generalized soap. Yeah.
Soap.
Oh, yeah, they still make soap. Oh, yeah.
Soap is still a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, really? People like IG? Oh, that's good. Yeah, no, Irish Spring is still available at all your regular Irish
Soap
Spring
providers.
stores. Yeah. Yeah. At all your hygiene spots. Your hygiene farm markets.
Terry says he has bars of Irish Spring, but he put a question mark in there, so.
Fender is cool to do this, but I bet it's making people who buy the Fender release version of it pissed off when they can get close to it under Squier brand. I don't know. I know what you're saying, Terry, but I think there's a lot of people that, want the Fender name on it and are very much willing to pay
The premium for it.
the premium to put that sticker on there, and then resale value. You got to think of the resale value. Sorry. We got a whole thing about resale value, guys.
Yeah, because I was like, if you're committed to the resale value of it, then you're already planning on getting rid of it.
Right.
Which means you already don't like it enough to keep it, which is like, well, why?
I just don't. Well, I don't understand the resale value, guys, all the time.
I get
understand to
the
a degree-
concern.
I
I
get it
don't
to a
understand
degree.
like making that part of your. That should not be in the top. To me, like that shouldn't even be top 10 considerations
for
a
the
guitar
instrument.
that you're gonna if you mean to play it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not just collecting, because like I know that I realize now, I'm learning to accept that there are just gear collectors that are not using the stuff.
Yeah, and they don't do shit.
Yeah.
They just collect it.
Yeah.
Or they just realize that they're such poor players that they should just collect them. And I don't
Well,
mean
that
that,
are
to,
like
be,
the
I don't mean
guys
that to be
that-
an asshole.
well,
I'm just
like-
saying
yeah.
there are people that don't play very well. They kind of recognize they're not going to, or they don't have the desire to.
Yeah, they just have
better.
fun with the gear.
They just have fun with it, and they realize, well,
Yeah.
I'm just going to call myself a collector because that way I can justify spending thousands of dollars on shit that I can't really use properly.
Yeah. And if I have an unusual obsession with boxes, it's explainable because collector.
Yeah, I'm a tool collector.
No, I'm kidding. I get
I
it.
got a
mean,
bunch of tools.
I'm a collector.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't make poor financial decisions. I'm a collector.
Collector. Yeah.
Resale.
Yeah. This thing sounds good though. Now we're gonna get everything from the Collector Guild. We're gonna get a stern email from the Collector Guild.
I play in a band with a guy who he doesn't hold on to things very long. He kind of just uses it for a little while and then moves on to the next.
Well, and I can even understand the guys that kind of like Jock that like to they kind of want to play with the gear, experiment with the gear, but they know that they're just ultimately going to be flipping it down the line.
Right.
Like I get
That
those
makes more
concerns
sense.
because he
That
wants
is
to.
with the end in mind. though.
Right.
So, but if you're gonna buy a guitar because you really like it, and then you're like, well, resale, blah blah blah, blah.
Yeah.
I just don't see all that. To me, I buy a guitar because I'm gonna play it, and then if I don't like it, I just sell it. I never bought it with how much I'm gonna sell it for later.
Well, to me, like case in point would be the heritage stuff. Like I feel like that argument comes up a lot with those, and it's like to me, like I wouldn't let the resale value of those guitars hold you off from getting a guitar that's arguably much better than you would get if you were just to get, the one that would have the better resale value. Because that's what a lot of guys are getting into that debate of Gibson versus Heritage, and it's like, yeah, but you're gonna let yourself, spend more money for a less guitar, and only because of that. Like if you intend to really play with it, like, and that's your main guitar, then that shouldn't be. I feel like that shouldn't be as high of a concern. Like I said, people can do whatever they want, obviously.
Right.
But I just feel like if you're really getting into the playing of it, then you should fall in love with the guitar. You shouldn't just be like, oh, I'm just going to sell you.
You buy the guitar because the guitar spoke to you, and you feel like you could do the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can do, like this guitar is gonna. This is what I want.
Well, kind of like I tell
what
people,
if
like,
it
you should
says
feel like there are
Heritage or
songs
Gibson?
in that guitar. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was funny because we did that album release party on last Saturday night for Dan, and we were kind of chatting. He goes, because I sold him that Yamaha acoustic,
Oh, yeah.
and that was where all these songs came from. He goes, I bought that
Oh.
guitar. He goes, like, I just couldn't stop playing, and all these songs just kept coming out. And he goes, before I knew it, I have an album. It's in you know, I was talking to his wife, and she's like, "Yeah, that guitar." Because that guitar he sold him, because that's what started all this. You know, and he just all those songs that he put out on the album kind of came out of that guitar.
Well, so
And I was like, well,
that's
cool.
perfect then, yeah.
So, but yeah, if you're gonna pass up on a freaking righteous sounding Heritage because it's a Heritage and not a Gibson,
right.
I think then you're missing out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna buy this G&L because even though it sounds
yeah.
great and plays great and is probably awesome, which it is, over this, you know, Fender, because the Fender is gonna get more money in 3 years,
Right.
5 years. I mean, some of this stuff, like how long you plan on holding that shit?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, yeah, and there's other things that you like. If you want to speculate on things, like there's a lot of other things you could do that with. I mean, I can understand if people are like, oh, well, you know, I'm interested in guitars. I'm also interested in speculating, so they try to kind of fuse the two hobbies. But it's like if you're doing it just to make money, that's, you know, there's other things you could speculate on that would be easier to store, easier to take care of, easier to sell. So yeah, it's just like there's a lot of ways you could go with that. If speculating is like, because I get it, like some guys almost like to speculate on things the way people like to gamble. Like
They speculate on pedals too. And
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
going to be the great because it's blue.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just gonna hoard all
Okay.
these until Josh Scott says something about them, and then they're gonna be worth
Right.
millions. Yeah.
Then I'm finally going to get that place in Dubai that I
Yeah.
want.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, Joey Dano
I'm gonna
Guitars.
get that false peninsula in Dubai, but yeah.
Yeah. Joey Dano Guitars, we know who that is. He goes, "That's me. I suck at playing, but used to be a very good singer." I've heard you sing, Doug. Joey Doug. Joey Doug. Buy high, sell low. That's my motto. I've seen you do that. What, box? Question mark, says Steve.
Yeah, we were talking about the people obsessed with boxes. Because, like, I mean, I get it. Like, if you know, if it's something you do want to stow away, like, yeah. It's just the guys that are doing that on the used side of things, especially when stuff's still in production, that's when I'm like, if you're that concerned about it, maybe you should just get, like, a newer one. That way you know it's not been messed
Right.
with and you have all this stuff. But
How about
Right.
Boss Volume Pedal guy?
oh, yeah,
Is that box minty fresh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That really
so
plain,
Chris-
terrible box.
Chris Lane Sr. I've never understood the case sniffers. If you like guitars, buy it and play it. If you want an investment, buy socks.
Stocks.
Or stocks.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I saw. Yeah,
I was like, socks sounds like a terrible investment. But I don't know what kind of socks these are. And then Joey Dano Guitar says, "Chris, I've lost more on stocks than on my guitars." So Chris was just in here
yeah.
He was in here, I think, Tuesday.
Okay.
He's got a YouTube channel too, so if you guys that are
Oh,
out
nice.
in the YouTube verse, go check him out. Yeah, he bought some stuff from us the other day, some strings and stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, he was in here. We started a YouTube channel because of the pandemic stuff and all that kind of thing. So he's doing some stuff at home. Cool dude. Yeah. So glad you're here, enjoying this with us.
Yeah. Everybody does need socks. Yeah.
That's
Well,
not
this-
a bad investment.
Well, this is the sock
It's like,
investment.
oh, everywhere you go.
Stock.
Most people need 2 of them. It's a great. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
this is but this is like sock investment season.
Stock investment?
Yeah.
Stock, and
Yeah.
2 smoking barrels.
Stocks, and just yeah.
But
That'd
this
be like
is the season.
an exclusive like sock and gun store.
Oh, you're totally right though.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
gifts.
But this would,
Yeah.
if you were going to invest in socks, this is the time. Just my tip. I'm no financial planner, clearly, because I own a guitar store. You know, but if you do want to invest in socks, this is certainly the time of year to do that. Also, you know, throw a little extra money into some under trowel. You might be able to scrape a few bucks up out of that too. Just saying, you know. People try to shun the mouton market.
On the
telling you.
mouton market.
I'm telling you, there's money in there's money in under trowel. Get in there. Get in.
He's like, everywhere you go, everybody needs them. It's a state.
You don't believe me? Ask that lady that owns Spanx. I bet you she knows a thing or two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now that we're done with the financial investment portion of our podcast, this should be a podcast. We should just do this. We got to figure out how to just put this into a podcast and let people and torture people in their cars. You know what I mean? And why let them sit at home and be miserable? You might as
Look
well
at be mobile and miserable.
yeah, you might as well be in traffic listening to this nonsense.
Janice can't find good socks. Maybe we need to sell socks.
Yeah, she needs some sock recommendations.
Terry says Fender socks $30, Gibson socks $60.
That's about right.
Yeah.
Most likely, I had to buy a Fender
Is that
ugly
adjusted
sweater
for
one
inflation?
year, and it was $50 for this stupid thing. I still got it. Maybe I'll wear it.
He's like, I don't wear it, but I still got
maybe
it.
I should just start wearing it this week because you know it is the season for woven apparel.
Yeah, except it's all warm this year. We're not gonna have a wintry Christmas and all.
I think everybody appreciates socks and underwear and like undershirts and such for.
Well, I think there's
For
an age,
Christmas.
there's an age threshold for that. But yes, yeah, it's one of those things that.
I'll take some free socks. I got no problem with that. No problem.
Yeah, but like 9-year-old little Ike would have probably not liked that. So.
9-year-old, I hated socks.
Yeah, see,
But I knew I was.
that's
getting
what I'm
them.
saying. Like, there's a age threshold for where socks and underwear become a valued gift rather than a what the
Yeah, we used to get a lot of shirts, clothing and stuff, and like velour. Velour was it? My aunt. Yeah, my aunt used to give us velour shirts and stuff, and I remember when she'd buy me like white shirts and stuff or light colored stuff because she goes, Anthony, you always wear dark stuff. So I appreciate Aunt Jean watching out for me and getting me some.
Yeah, like really worked out. Yeah,
Yeah.
She really
Yeah.
influenced you there.
So I appreciate she cared, you know, and that,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that. So yeah, she used to give us like velour shirts and light colored stuff, and I'm like, I get it. She was on the right track, you know, but it just, you know, the dark colors were strong in this one. This thing sounds pretty good for faux 49.
Yeah, that is a really good guitar for that money.
And it's solid gold. Talk about resale.
Yeah.
Weighs 147 pounds, but it's good.
It's like 4.5 carats. Like, I didn't
That's
know
what they
they
should
did
do.
half carats.
See, that's what I think Fender should do. They should make like a $3,500 Squire, and then just see who buys it. And they're like, we made 5 of these.
Oh, they'd sell out instant.
You know what I mean? You'd be like, this is the official Fender Squire combo extravaganza.
Like the Fender Squire model by Fender by Squire.
Right,
Yeah.
totally. Inspired by Leo.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then they just sell the damn thing for like $3,500, and they'll sell out in like 5 minutes. Be gone.
And it'll look exactly like a
Like a bullet.
three-tone sunburst strap.
Bullet strat,
3-tone
yeah.
sunburned strap, but it has a couple things that only Leo knew that was in his scribble book. Like special things, like maybe a hole underneath the pick guard for where they were going to do tooling or something, and that's like the special, you know, tool hole.
Tool.
You're gonna pay extra for the tool.
Tool.
I wasn't even going there, but it kind of fell into place. So I'm going to go with it.
Yeah, Terry's not wrong. I mean, the Hello Kitty thing, yeah. He's like that.
Yeah, I mean,
people turned that into, yeah.
That one, I can't tell you how many people. I mean, they sold out in no time. Number one, we didn't even have a chance to order anything. So the guitars are gone and all the fuzz pedals gone. And we've had a ton of people ask us about it. It's just we'd never just didn't have a chance to get them in.
Well, and the thing that really
They were
gets me is
sold
like
out before we even had a chance.
that Hello Kitty fuzz is just, it's got to be. It's just the hammer tone fuzz with a different paint job. You couldn't give away those hammer tone
I think that
pedals.
was
Yeah.
I think that was handcrafted, audioly handcrafted by
He's like,
Kitty yourself.
It's deceit, I tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think it was handmade, worked with artisans, audio artisans and such, of the fuzz variety. Yeah, so I'm just saying.
I mean, fun fact, you know Hello Kitty's not a cat. She's a little girl, right?
I know next to nothing
I don't
about
know-
Hello Kitty
I
other
don't
than
know anything
like
about
other
it.
than a cat that people put on everything. Like
Yeah.
It was
that's
just
the
really
only.
weird. The company came out and was like, no, it's a little girl. And everyone was like,
Why she got ears?
what?
She got ears up here though.
The
right?
cat isn't a.
Cat?
That's not a.
The cat's a
That
girl.
is not a girl. How is that a girl? I've seen pictures. It
Well,
looks
ma-
like a cat, right?
Yeah.
You know, to be honest, I've never looked at it that long. But
it's
I
a
always thought it was a cat.
for
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
but They say it's a little girl.
Where are they from?
Japan.
Okay. Well,
Okay. Maybe they got like anime rules going or something.
yeah,
I
I mean, it could be like you got to do like Trailer Park Boys after they became cartoons. Okay, we have to just assume this is the real world. Yeah, I don't know. So I don't know anything really about anything about the Hello Kitty stuff. So
I only know a little bit because I've been playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
He's like, yeah, I have a whole ecosystem. It's
It's very relaxing.
Yeah.
Game. Very relaxing.
Let's see. Hey, Patrick's in here. Very cool, Squire. Is that?
Oh, Patrick. Yeah, Patrick. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Metallic
Not
gold,
Pat.
gold metallics, wee sparkle. It's got a wee sparkle
Wee
to it.
sparkle.
Yeah, it's one of those wee sparkle, not a big flake sparkle.
The wee flakes.
Wee flakes. Oh, also, you'd missed it yesterday because you weren't here, or what? Tuesday, we were unloading. Like there was some packing slip, and it said Astro Bubble. And I'm
Astro
like,
Bubble.
That's a perfect name for a band.
That is a good. Yeah.
That
Astro
should be
Bubble.
that's our house band's Astro Bubble,
That is a good band name. Astro Bubble.
and we could start out like that.
Very bubbly.
Welcome to the Astro Bubble. Hi, kids. Welcome to the Astro Bubble. Now that everything's kicking in, let's get Thank you. Thank you. We'll be here all week. Sorry. What else we get in here? Okay, new from Gibson. It's the Gibson SS T-shirt, solid state shirt.
I like what Chris said. I like the Gibson shirts, but the neck dive is ridiculous.
That's clever. That's
It's like plunging. Somebody
Yeah,
would say.
the plunging
Yeah.
neckline is
He's like, it makes me really self-conscious about my chest hair.
all right. So now that we're done with the
Yeah.
nonsense talk or whatever the hell we were just, we never really ended up on a subject today, though, did we? We just kind of rambled through whatever. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think. Did anything.
Nothing really happened, right?
Nothing's really happened, no. But I was talking to you about like how no one's ever. There's a lot of people who have never heard of Marshall or played a Marshall,
Oh yeah.
and so this
The whole
debate of,
expectation versus reality debate. That was actually a good conversation.
of being like tube versus digital. It's like, well, have
Yeah.
you ever even played a dimed Marshall?
Yeah. When was the last time you had a half stack and cranked it and actually stood in front of it?
Well, my theory is
Most
that
likely not.
you might like the
There's
sound.
a lot of people that never.
You might like the sound of things, but playing it in the room and the way it feels is wildly different. Because I think there's a lot of people that like, especially the whole when the Marshall in a box pedal thing was kind of, which that was. There's been a lot of that, but I feel like about 10 years ago that like every company was kind of making their way through the plexi stuff, and that was the whole thing. Is I particularly remember this one dude still that kept coming in saying, all these different plexi pedals he was trying were not turning his little you know, 1x8 champ into a Marshall stack.
I
And
can't
I
seem
was
to get
like,
this to
yeah.
Gorilla. This Gorilla amp can't seem to get to Plexi status.
Right, yeah, and it was just like kept going because like I think it was like the third or fourth return was when I finally asked them. I'm like, well, what is it that you're trying to do with this that it's not doing?
Right.
And that was the explanation. But like Jacob's point is that like how many people especially like of a certain age range and younger, because I would say like guys from your age generation, like you guys only had certain lines, like those were just standards. Like Marshalls were standards, Fenders were standards. So like
And
you
you
have
had-
a lot of experience with that. But
Right.
like I would say like his you know, Jacob's age, my age, and younger, like you're getting into guys that have less experience with the big on full on shit. Let alone guys that have just started playing in like the last 25 years that still haven't
Right.
ever played. Because I would say high watts are kind of the same thing. Like you can have an emulation of anything, but playing the real thing is very
It's a bit
different.
different.
And it's not always going to be what you're thinking. Because like Jacob
Yeah.
made a point when we were kind of talking about it that like after it's been recorded, processed, you don't know what's going into it. You don't know what tweaks were made in post. You don't know what EQing was done in post, compression, like all those
Mm-hmm.
things of like you hear all these, you know, tones that you think are for you,
Well, it
but you
could
don't
also be-
necessarily have the full ingredients list. It's not like it's just that one amp is going to magically turn you into
Right, and it
you
could
know.
be double tracked, it could be reamped
Yeah.
or whatever you know, or you know what I mean. And then it's like, well, it sounds really thick and big. Well, that's because they're, you know,
they made a lot of
they-
effort
they-
to make it.
Yeah,
sound
they
like that.
stacked it kind of that way.
Well, and
But
then-
also, like guys that are my age, we were out at the small clubs listening to a cranked. So it wasn't like just
PAs weren't as prevalent.
yeah, it wasn't
so,
us
yeah.
just standing like playing it. We were also in front of the thing, listening to it, because we were at these small clubs and there's a half stack Marshall or a full stack
Yeah,
that's just blasting in your face.
right.
You get the
You get the full picture.
You
Yeah.
get the full picture,
Yeah.
and actually, you know, now things are mic'd up or direct out or whatever the case may be.
well, and if
So
you-
it's definitely a little different.
And
You
if
know.
you're listening on Spotify or something, it's
Yeah.
been like 1s and 0.5
Yeah.
Yeah,
3 different times before it even got to your ears.
Yes.
right.
Yeah, and I do think like that's a big thing of, you know, I guess reining in expectations, but even just like, you know, do enough people even have some of those? Because like you're right, like I like seeing like Rory play for instance because he does do the old school. Like it
Yeah.
is just a loud ass amp,
Just
really loud.
roaring in your face.
Yeah, and he just goes for it, and it's like that's part of the fun of seeing, you know, bands that are like that still do that stuff. But a lot of these guys that like they want these mystical tones that they've kind of built up in their head, but they want it to be convenient.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, convenient and all this other stuff doesn't
They want
necessarily
they don't want to
equate
bother
to
the neighbors.
right. Yeah, it doesn't equate to. You're not going to get that same sensation. You're not going to necessarily get the same excitement, but doesn't mean there's not still good stuff for both situations.
Right.
But yeah, like expectations versus reality definitely has to get reined in, and I feel like a lot of I don't know the demoing side of things, like because that's why like I feel like lately being in the store helps too. But I don't really watch a ton of pedal demos unless it's guys that are doing like a real deep dive on something,
Yeah.
where they're going into it of like these are the applications I found it useful for. This is what I didn't like about like those are the ones I watch now because I feel like a lot of the like hey here's an overdrive into an amp demo doesn't do a whole lot for me anymore because I know like there's you know the scenario you put that pedal in is going to change everything about it.
Yeah,
you know?
if you play it, you can take that because we've over
Or
the
at least
years.
your
I mean, we
perception
did
of
that.
it, yeah.
We did that a lot, where it's like, oh wow, I've watched 6 videos on this, and the thing sounds great. Then we plug it into a similar setup, and we're like,
Yeah.
this isn't quite it. Wait a minute, and then we try it. I mean, how many times we were like, this is supposed to be a great pedal, and we plugged it in, and we're like, this is kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do the thing. I think there's also a segment of people that are trying to get a certain tone that are home,
Yeah.
never on a stage, never sitting there in a mix with, like, trying to figure out, does this sound good with the band?
Right.
You know, and that's a whole
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
thing, because then you're sitting there going, okay, this may sound a little thin in the room, just me, but when you throw the bass player in, the drummer, and a keyboard, all of a sudden that stands out because you're cutting through the mix,
Right.
and it's in the right spot. the tone is right where you want it, but in the room, you're kind of like, it's not really there. So there's a difference there, too, live compared to I'm at home recording.
Well, I think,
there's nothing wrong with any of that. I'm just saying.
Goots and Eric and I had kind of that conversation the other day about Brian May in terms of his tone. Because, like, to me, he's the perfect example of a guy that his entire tone is for the band. It's not for him. Like, he, you know, he's not gearing shit because he wants to hear it exactly that way. It fits the song and it cuts through. Because, like, he cuts through like nobody else, I think. Like, when you hear, like, you know his sound immediately. It rips right through the mix. You know, I unfortunately I've never gotten to see Queen live, but like I know his tone would just zip right through. So like he's one of those dudes that like I bet you if you took his tone out of the context of the band, you'd be like, ugh, that's kind of harsh.
I feel like it would probably be
awful.
It would probably if you did a single track, just listening, you'd probably go, that's pretty harsh.
Yeah,
but
you throw him in the mix and it's like it's iconic. So yeah,
and that's the thing. What was I doing? Maybe it was that charity thing I did a few years ago, and I kind of dialed in a tone that I liked in this room, and then when I got to the Dove to play, once we got going, I'm like, and then I kind of had to juice a little bit more of the treble, and it was just the treble and the mid just enough to kind of get through what was there, and I go, oh, okay, there it is.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like once we were playing, then I realized like, hey, this sounded great here, but it needed to be a little bit thinner. It still had the punch, but it needed to be a little bit thinner because there was other things. We had a keyboard player, 2 singers, and a drummer. And a bass player. So there was a lot of frequencies getting
divided up,
getting sucked up, and I realized like, oh, okay, we'll do this, and it was fine, from what I remember hearing.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things. Like, there's always going to be those debates, but I think the right tool for the right situation, which is kind of a theme of things we've gotten back to before. But I mean, I think that keeps applying to the same situation of adjusting your expectations when you're playing certain things. Because like, there's a lot of tones, a lot of my favorite tones that like I'm sure, you know, did not sound like that. But like, Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young, like the live album. Mm-hmm. The tones on that album sound incredible. I bet you if you were front row, you probably would have been like in a panic because like that shit had to hurt. Yeah, so it's like, so I'm like, it's one of those things of like on the album recorded, the whole thing like sounds great, but like in person, I bet you it wasn't quite as.
Might not have been
yeah, it had to be pretty punchy, and because I've heard those amps turned up, and I've been right next to those amps turned up, so I'm like, I know what that feels like now, and it's not necessarily like that cozy, warm feeling you're getting when you're listening on headphones, and it's like.
Well, it's even like some of the Champ stuff. Yeah. A lot of stuff's been recorded with Champs, but they're cranked. Mm-hmm. And they kind of sound like shit cranked in a room.
In a room, but you put a mic in front of it.
But you put a mic in front of it, or you put that with a band, or you got a buddy that's playing bass and drums with a crank thing, and now all of a sudden, there's some of that is taken up, and you're like, oh, that does sound good. That does give me this tone I want, but it may sound like shit just kind of on its own.
Right. And again, too, like because I've kind of told people that too about little combos, like your ear's not on the floor. And it's not right in front of the speaker like the mic would be. So it's like you're not necessarily hearing those same frequencies and that same spread that it would be if, you know. So it's just, I would say like whatever makes you happy in the room, like those are what you have to go with. And if you're at home, then that's just a totally different kind of journey you got to go down. But, you know, you got to find the right thing for what you can do.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's play some shit. Because we're like at 20 minutes now.
Okay. So let's see. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit.
So these are all new pedals from 2024, except the CMOS, but it's new to us.
Yes. Which one? Oh,
or the
Chupacabra?
Chupacabra. Yeah.
I just wanted to hear that one, so.
Okay.
If you want, we can just get that one out of the way first.
And I dialed in the Toki to sound just like
Oh, there, okay, I was gonna say. Like, what is
too.
That one sounds good. I guess for contrast, we can move over to the enemy.
Can you add the bulls back in there, please?
It's a tube screamer, so.
I know.
That will stick out in the mix.
Yes.
That actually it will.
Yes, it will.
I think they both sound
Yeah, the two together actually sounds pretty good. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll hear the Toki on its own, and then we can kind of pair it with some stuff and see.
Toki!
The Toki,
Help me,
Toki.
Toki!
The Toki, Loki, Toki, Toki. It's got a brr setting and another brr setting and a 200 brr setting. Ooh. That's pretty tasty, actually.
What's that?
I'll give it a little more volume. Whoa, man, I touched it. You weren't kidding about that jump. That thing's really good, actually. Yeah,
sounds great.
Yeah, put
does
it
really
on.
sound
That
good.
does sound good. Switch it to plate reverb for because like plate and fuzz usually go together.
That's our Dangerous Toys, the guy.
It's just like a touch of that. That sounds pretty good.
Just a touch of Cabra.
Yeah, just a touch of Cabra. Not a chupacabra, but a touch of
Just
Cabra.
Definitely's got an 80s kind of.
I'm sure that's exactly what they were going for. Yeah, the Bullet Boys signature 29 Toki.
Yeah, it sounds like you're on the Sunset Strip.
It is. I'm on the Sunstrip Strip 1982. It really does.
Oh yeah.
That sounds good.
I think it sounds good. You want to get in on this?
Yeah.
Get me off of this ride?
Do you know Heat of the Moment?
In the heat of the moment, tell me what you hide me. I don't know what the hell the lyrics are for that.
Music Therapy Laz is in here. What's happening, dude? What did he say? He's asking us about NAMM or something?
He said that we are not going this
Yeah,
year.
we're not going to make it this year.
He said
It's
he's
like
sad.
he likes the white EVH. We got a nice black one here if you want one.
They're hoping for new colors.
Yeah, there's a nice black one here if you want it. We'll give you a special deal.
They want a white one. They're hoping for a bone white one.
Oh, In the Heat of the Night. That's a different story.
Oh, and
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's a
Actually,
different...
yeah. That's because Psych. Honestly, his tone on that stuff was really good. Like I know, like everybody, White Snake in the hair and all that shit, but the tone on there on all that stuff was.
No, there's good...
White Snake those records sound.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
Yeah.
tones and the out like that shit sounds really good. Like
I mean, you got Vivian Campbell playing. I mean, there's a lot of talent. It's just there's the outliers. Like there's those bands that were like they were really good at that time, and then there was the ones that were like the T-Move version of those bands.
oh yeah,
You had Whitesnake, and then you had Bullet Boys.
right.
So if you can only get the Wish version of fucking
We got
Whitesnake,
White Snake at home.
We already got White Snake at home.
you know what I mean? Like
That's funny.
that's what I'm saying. Like some of those bands, and it just got to be so like if you took a photocopy. And then you photocopied the photocopy, and then photocopied the photocopy, and then by the time you get to the 10th photocopy of the photocopy, it's basically Wango Tango, or not Wango Tango.
No, Wango Tango.
It's Bang Tango.
Oh yeah.
You get Bang Tango.
Bang Tango. Yeah.
Nothing. I'm only using an example, guys, at Bang Tango, so don't get pissed at me. Hey, man! We're only kidding. Relax, it's fine.
You want to switch me?
Oh, yeah.
That guitar has some thick low.
I was just gonna say for a
It's
strat,
not
and
for a
that-
strat?
that's in the fourth setting though too. Like,
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's going even fuller. Yeah.
That's just the Cabra. So,
I think that was with the Toki too. Yeah.
so let's just do the Envy.
Yeah, it's still pretty.
What does it sound like in the bridge? That's expected. Click, click, click.
Well, I can't get it. It's interesting. It's definitely like floppier. It's interesting.
Think of Bodie.
Yeah. It's kind of a fun one
Dylan always brings the low end. Still sounds very stratty.
That's a good combo.
Yeah, I think that sounds pretty
You know,
good.
it's funny too because like the last few times I didn't get to try this, and I don't think I really tried the Envy too much. But like, I will say, I think Goots is right. Like with Mythos, they are like their
I'm gonna
drives are always good.
Turn
Like,
that guy off. And just go Cabra.
yeah.
I mean, that sounds
There's something I like about this one also.
That's the original.
Yeah.
That pedal
That's a good
sounds
one.
great. I might have to get one of those.
Well, like now I gotta do like that full overdrive shootout at some point.
Yeah, it's a great sounding.
Mm-hmm.
I dig that pedal a lot.
We got
Yeah.
about 30 seconds.
Not too much.
Now it's just mud.
Too
Yeah.
much.
Okay, we're out of here. We're done. That's it. Time's up. Let's cut it. It's a hard stop. All right, hey, thanks for everybody for hanging out with us today with the F.A.Q and talking shite and listening to pedals and
What the fuck? I'm talking shit.
talking shite and listening to pedals and stuff. If you guys are interested in any one of these guitars, it's on all of our websites that are available on the internet.
All of our whole one website.
Yeah, all the websites on the internet. So this guy, that guy, all that stuff. If you like t-shirts, buy t-shirts.
Yes.
Anything like that. So go check out our friends over at Texas Toast Guitars. They'll be talking some stuff over there. And then Dylan Talk Tone will be doing that stuff. All right, and we'll see you guys on the flip side.
Yeah.